Probably.
One of the best things on the show, definitely.
Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah. So we've got Cody versus we're not
mystery
really told.
opponent.
Mystery opponent for the
Because
TNT title.
we get a little promo first, and it's kind of interesting, to be honest. Kind of interesting. Salty Cody boy.
Yeah.
Because he says, when I was attacked by the Inner Circle by Jake Hager last week, where were my family? Where were my friends? Am I even still in the Elite? Am I even still part of the Nightmare family? And then I didn't catch it myself, but the internet pointed it out to me. He stroked his face with 4 fingers, like the 4 horsemen. And here's Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard has Sean Spears, who got a little glove. Got a little glove, little horseman glove. And maybe Cody will turn eventually. Put together a little group of horse riding wrestlers, maybe.
This is definitely something I've been feeling, and you know what? That makes sense. Because I also feel like I know who the 4 will be if that's the case.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I've got a feeling it will be. If we're to say that Cody is definitely going to be with Sean Spears in this reformation of a 4 horsemen, because Cody loves.
If the other 2 are Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, I'm going to punch you.
No. I think it's going to be FTR. I think it's going to be Cody, Sean, and FTR. You've got the good tag team in there, and then you got your 2 people who go for the other titles.
I thought about it being FTR too, but they said they don't want to be in a faction. Could be worked, of course. And I kind of don't want to see them in a faction, maybe.
The only thing that leads me to believe that, though, is did you see last week's match where they kind of were showing off to Tully and Arn, who were sitting in the crowd with Sean Spears behind them, just sitting there watching over.
Oh, yeah.
That's what kind of gives me the impression that that's going to be that's where that comes.
Good call, actually. Good call. I didn't connect the pieces there.
So that was kind of one of the things that I kind of noticed. I was like, right, okay, because he saw Sean was intently watching him as well, and then they made a point of making sure that you saw Sean and Tully and Arn watching FTR in their match against Butcher and Blade, and I'm thinking, all right then, we're seeing something here that is maybe a slow build to that 4 horsemen gimmick, which makes total sense because again, Tully and Arn, and they're the two managers of the 2 other people that would make sense, like you said, with Cody and with Sean.
It kind of pays off the searching for a tag partner storyline of Sean Spears.
Yes, because they did actually tag in OVW as well. So there is history there.
Yeah, and I mean, they had the storyline running for a couple of weeks and they just dropped it.
I think they might have dropped it, though, because of the pandemic. I don't think that was done organically.
Yeah, but I mean, if they reform the Horsemen and Sean and Cody will tag together, it kind of pays off on this storyline.
Yeah, I can see that there. That makes sense, actually, because then FTR could take up one half of things, and then them to take the other. But if FTR don't become the tag team for that group, then you do have that tag team there. So that makes sense. Yeah. I can see that.
Let me fantasy book one more thing about this, about Cody's heel turn.
Go for it.
What I want him to do to turn heel is like he will be defending the TNT championship for a long time, and it will go to his head, and he will be saying like, I'm the best singles wrestler there is, but I can't challenge for the title that actually proves that I am. I can't do that. And why can't I do it? Because I made a promise and I was betrayed. I never lost that match. I would have won this match. It was a stupid promise to begin with. And he goes back on his promise. Like the big heel he is now. And he goes for the title. He knows he deserves it. He is the greatest wrestler to have ever lived. I know, kind of like a lame heel character going there, but I think going back on the promise is the biggest heel move face Cody could make.
I think the only thing that stops me from maybe wanting to go that direction is that I feel like what they're going to do is they're planning on maybe having him lose that title, and I want to say by about All Out, but what I think they're going to do is they're going to have him defend that belt weekly. And with that weekly defense of the belt, he's going to get more and more tore up, more worn out, and he is going to get closer and closer each week to losing it, and then he loses it at All Out, and then maybe that's when the heel snap happens.
How about he gets a little bit more heelish as each week goes, because his body is worn out. Now he has to rake the eyes. Now he has to do a low blow, maybe.
Yeah.
And it kind of stuff like that already happened in the match we're about to talk about.
Yeah. Do you want to get into that there?
Sure.
So we had a promo break, which you're talking right there. There was a bit of a promo break with a slight sort of poking at the Elite and the Nightmare family, all the other storylines. And then Arn Anderson talks up the new talent, which is Absolute Ricky Starks, which I wasn't aware of who he was myself personally, but that promo package was perfect. It told us that he was a former NWA television champion himself, which is perfect because that makes the dynamics between a TNT championship and the NWA television championship perfect sort of slot. There's a good meld there. It shows his qualifications to be going for that belt and having the title shot. Apparently, he's also worked in DDT over in Japan. But it was a good promo. Talked about his kind of like his work ethic, his fire, and the fire in his belly that he wants to try and, you know, kind of make use of and kind of just like draw from. Really good way of building this person who I've never seen before, never heard of before. This is where I pull into Speculation Station, though, if you allow me.
Sure, go for it.
So we have seen this is the first time we're seeing someone who is technically not part of the AEW roster challenge for the belt, right?
Yep.
There is an increasing rumor that there is going to be more relationships with more promotions inside AEW across the American landscape, as well as potentially with New Japan when we get past the pandemic as the time of wrestling. If you watched, I don't know if you watched Being the Elite about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but one of the Elite members showed up who has not been in Being the Elite for maybe, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe close to 8, 9 months. And it just happened to be none other than ROH Booker and the villain himself, Marty Scurll. Now, there's been increasing and interesting sort of developments with him becoming the ROH Booker. And this could see, and this is me speculating, this could see the use of ROH talent maybe used in matches to try and work with AEW. Now that they're showing that they're open to working with other talent from other organizations, okay? With the bridge with Marty Scurll, that also bridges you into the NWA because they are actually working with ROH are working with NWA currently right now, and potentially New Japan. I'm wondering if this is the first small incremental step that we see of the final bridges being built between these promotions.
It could very well be the case, yes.
So that was my bit of speculation station right there.
Do you have talent in mind who you would like to see challenge for the title?
For the TNT title specifically?
Yeah, from other promotions, of course.
From our promotions, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a weird one. Joe Hendry.
Local hero.
The local hero himself, Joe Hendry. I think he would be great in a match with Cody. I think that it would do Joe Hendry a lot of favors because Joe Hendry's a good worker and he's had some great matches on the indie scene against the likes of Kurt Angle and whatnot. Yep. But ROH is not national in the sense that what AEW is national. They're kind of like the old school territories where their shows go on air on different segments in different markets at different times all across America. Where I think He'd be a great match for Cody in an angle on the TNT Championship. I think that'd be a great one. Dalton Castle as well would be another great one.
That'd be a good one. Yes.
I think Jay Lethal would be another great one because Jay Lethal and Cody had a fierce competition with each other for the ROH World Championship when they were still working on ROH. New Japan stuff. Oh, there's a lot of interesting wrestlers you could bring into there. I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for this, but like I would love to see a comedy match with Toriano. I think that could be really funny. Like Toriano shows up and starts doing his comedy shtick. Just a bit of a fun, light, breezy, silly match there. I think that could be really good. If we want to talk about proper work rate though, Hiroki Goto from the Chaos faction, I think he is the most underrated member of Chaos there is. The man, and I know he has a lot of never open weight title holding stats, but like the man should have been like an IWGP heavyweight champion at some point and hasn't been. He is an absolute workhorse. He is so good in the ring, so fluid. Just an absolute hero when it comes to matches. Like, I mean, the guy just goes for it. I love him. I think he's amazing. Do we have to limit it just to the TNT title? Because if we're talking open season, let's get the Guerrillas of Destiny in there for the tag champs. Let's get them guys in there. Let's get a bit of interfaction Bullet Club versus Elite going again. Stuff like that. There.
God.
That in my head, it's like let's do this. Let's just.
I'm sorry.
let's just go nuts with it, Like let's treat because Bullet Club are an invading force. Why not have them invade the promotion?
Oh, sure. Do you want to fantasy book this right now? I think we're kind of late on time anyway.
Yeah, that's not fantasy book it, but that's just some of the ideas I had anyway. We'll get back to talking about the damn match. Oh god, this is our first episode. Of course, we're going to go over time on segments. We're not going to be that good on it. Overall, though, great match. There's a lot of just a great old school fluid style wrestling that you see because again, Cody's background with sort of his collegiate wrestling background, and then also you've got Ricky Starks also from NWA fame previously. So again, good rooted fundamentals inside an organization that kind of does take more pride in its old school style wrestling than compared to maybe the more athletic that you see in the modern day takes. So they, as competitors go, work beautifully. They're very fluid, very good motion in the ring. I was hearing a lot of censored language during the show. Did you notice that as well? A lot of bleeping, a lot of Terry Funkin going on in there.
Yeah, there was a lot of Terry Funking.
Do we know what the Terry Funkin was about?
Nope.
Like, do you know who's doing that? No.
Nope. But there was quite a bit of Terry Funking in the Super Bad Lads match as well.
Yeah, so someone was clearly getting a bit too into it, which is, fair play. But yeah, a hell of a lot of Terry Funkin going on. But yeah, like overall, like there was not too many high spots. The high spots were done in sparingly in a way to make them count. You saw, again, kind of what we expected. Cody won with the Crossroads, and then there was a very pleasant mutual show of respect at the end of the match. Nothing too crazy when it comes to title defenses, especially with these weekly title defenses. It was, I don't want to say formulaic, but it was what I expected. I would say it's solid, like 3 out of 5, a high 3 out of 5. Good work, but nothing phenomenal to it.
Well, I would say it was formulaic, kind of. That's kind of the good TV match you would see at another company.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of mediocre. Good workers, but match just didn't pull me into it. I don't know what they did wrong. Maybe it was a bit slow. The pieces didn't come together for me. I did not like this match.
I didn't mind it. I liked it, but it wasn't the Jungle Boy defense we saw 2 weeks prior. And I feel like with this title, this weekly title defense, we're going to see this stuff. We're going to see very just by the books formulaic matches from here and there. Maybe every once off, we're going to get a match that really puts Cody to the limit. But beyond that, it's nothing crazy. I thought it was good. That's why I say 3 out of 5. Like, it was a good wrestling match, but it wasn't phenomenal or extraordinary.
Let's talk about two little spots here. The low blow that Cody hit. Well, the commentators said it was maybe a low blow. They didn't sell it as a low blow. What the fuck was he actually doing?
I don't know. Again, you're right about that there. They kind of tried to give him benefit of the doubt, which I don't think was... Was that a botch?
I don't know. I don't even know what Cody was going for, you know? I mean, he clearly tried to kick him somewhere, which appeared to be the groin.
Yeah. Maybe it was as he was a bit too far back, or maybe a bit too far forward, and he was trying to go for maybe a gut kick, but he ended up a little bit too closer to the never region, but it didn't...
But it could be the incremental heel turn, because later in the match, Arn Anderson interfered as well on behalf of Cody. Yeah, he pushed Cody off the ropes to get him out of harm's way. I think he's interfered once before.
Yeah, he interfered on the Lance Archer match for the actual title, and that actually ended with him getting through out of the actual match itself, along with Jake the Snake. So that would be the only other occasion I can really think of where we had Arn Anderson kind of get directly involved in that capacity.
Yeah. So could maybe the low blow was intended. I don't know. Incremental heel turn. We will see. We'll have to see how this pans out over the next weeks.
Yeah. Overall though, good match in my mind. It was just solid wrestling. There was, again, nothing phenomenal, but nothing bad. It was 3 out of 5 to me, you know? Like, it wasn't terrible, and it wasn't the barn burner that maybe we could have got from Cody, but again, I think you have to kind of pick and choose your battles on that one where you can do those barn burners.
It can't all be 4 or 5 star matches. That's okay.
Yeah. He needs to be able to show he's just a good wrestler, will win sometimes with relative ease. Yeah.
And I think it didn't help the match, the flow that they cut back to Jake Hager like 7 or 8 times. It was really annoying.
Like, I get what they're trying to do there. I get that they're trying to create a situation where they're building him and they're trying to make him like, look at this guy. He's on the horizon. You know, this is going to be where the big match happens. But
after the first cutaway, we understood that Jake Hager was watching the match on a monitor backstage. Yes, maybe remind us once again later. But they cut back to him constantly, and he never did anything. He just stood there and watched the match.
Yeah, wasn't really all that... You know what? At least he watched the match correctly.
Yeah. Credit where credit is due.
At least he knows hard to look at a TV.